Most CNC machines can cut steel, but to machine hard materials efficiently is a different ballgame. There are many challenges faced when cutting steel. These problems can cause long cycle times, quality issues, and high tooling costs. This makes machine shops less competitive and cause them to lose, or even worse, give up an order. To overcome these challenges, there are many criteria. Here are the main criteria that will help you cut steel effectively. When there's not enough torque while cutting steel, your machine will start to vibrate, and this applies stress to the machine's mechanical parts. This is because it isn't powerful enough to handle the material. There's lots of friction while cutting, and the heat from the friction causes the tool to wear out faster. All this wear and tear gives you inconsistent dimensions and poor surface finish. When there's extra power, it allows you to cut deeper and faster while keeping the dimensions of your workpiece and your surface finish up to standards. HAAS machines are built to cater these kinds of cutting conditions, with a BT40 spindle that has 30 horsepower and a torque of up to 126 Nm. We can machine steel with minimum friction and maximum efficiency. High spindle torque gives you faster cycle times by increasing the depth per cut and feet per tool, lower tooling cost. When there's less friction and heat applied to your tool, you can reduce the damage to your tool and maximize its usage. Better quality workpieces when you have more consistent dimensions and a good surface finish. And finally, an overall high efficiency when there's less downtime used for maintenance on the machine's mechanical parts and less time used to replace your tools. When your cutter starts to wear and tear, you need to determine at which point you need to replace it. There are many variables when machining, especially with steel. These variables make it hard to predict tool change. When machinists try to determine the lifespan of a tool and when to change it, they usually make rough estimates based on personal experience. If you change your tool too late, you might damage your spindle, but change it too early and you waste the tool. Since worn out tools create friction that increases the spindle load, by tracking your spindle load, you have the best indicator of when to replace tools. HAAS's Intelligent Feed Control program allows you to not only monitor spindle load, but also automatically adjust the cutting feed to be at an optimum rate. This prevents a scenario where the cutter is worn and stress starts to build up in the machine from the friction. The program gives you the right timing to change tools, avoiding spindle damage and maximizing tool life. Modern cutting paths need HSM to get aggressive, because aggressive equals more chips, faster, and more chips equals making more money. But you can't just go faster, you must maintain accuracy. HSM lets your machine cut as quickly as possible without pauses or deviation from the program's path. Using flood-based coolant when cutting steel is not a good idea, especially when slotting and pocketing. The coolant will flood the pocket, trapping the chips and causing damage to the cutter. To make sure that you aren't cutting those chips twice, HAAS's new minimum quantity lube option, or MQL for short, uses air and lube that's extremely effective for slotting and pocketing. Our nozzle can be positioned right next to the cutter, which increases efficiency of the airflow. This way, we solve the flooding issue and prevent the double cutting of chips or any chip interference. And when it's time for a tool change, MQL will automatically retract, getting out of the way and preventing damage. With our high spindle torque, intelligent feed control, high-speed machining, and lube option, you can have shorter cycle times and reduce tooling costs. This separates you from competitors that use ineffective machines and will allow you to win orders easily and stay competitive. The best machines in the world are the ones that make money.